Welcome to Breakthrough Mode, the podcast where we intentionally get into the driver's seat of our lives, shift out of monotony and mediocrity, and step on the gas towards becoming the person we were always meant to become. Hello, and welcome to Monday Morning with Megan on the Breakthrough Mode podcast. I am your host, Megan Bauer, and this is episode 205. Today, I have a great quote for you by author Gretchen Rubin. She said, "The power of habits lies in their ability to free up our energy for meaningful decisions." Now, of course, I would argue that that's not the only power that habits have, but let's focus in on her quote. So one of the big purposes of habits is to help us conserve energy, to help us make decisions that we have previously made on repeat so that we don't have to think about it, so that we don't have to be overwhelmed by all of the options and all of the choices in life, because when we feel all of those options, it's really a lot. And sometimes we just shut down because it's too much. So when we have supportive habits in place that make some of these decisions for us, our energy really is freed up. And then we can focus in on making those meaningful decisions. When it's not all of these choices, you have to make this long list of choices just to survive. The meaningful ones we don't ever decide on, or we decide to decide on it later. We push it off because it's too big, it's too meaningful, and we can't handle that right now because we're too busy making all of these decisions about survival. So when we don't have to make all of those decisions about survival, we can zero in and focus on what truly matters. But in order for that to be the most benefit that it could possibly be, our habits about all of our survival decisions need to be helpful. They need to be supportive. They need to be habits that we intentionally put in place so that we no longer have to think about the things, so that our habits can carry us through on the day-to-day, and we literally have the time, space, energy, and focus for those really meaningful things, those really meaningful decisions. I have been in places in my life where, like the daily life, the daily living is so much that I can't even sit down and think about who it is I want to become because I'm too busy making sure that all of this gets done and that all of that gets taken care of and remembering this and remembering that. And these are often, they're good things. They're part of the life. They're part of, what I've created, and that's great. But they aren't like the fulfilling soul, light your soul on fire type of things. They are just kind of getting by type of things. And when we're too busy spending all of our energy on all of that stuff, we can't sit down and think about, who do I want to become? Like, who do I even want to be in this world? What does that even mean to me? What does meaningful work look like, feel like? What is all of that to me? What is it that is really calling to me? We can't give any of that attention if we're too busy on all of these important yet day-to-day habit type things, or day-to-day tasks, I guess. So when we have habits in place that take care of the majority of that for us, that we don't have to worry about all of those other things, then we're opened up, we're freed up, and really, that is a power that habits have, that they get to free up space. They get to create this openness for our energy to be focused elsewhere. And of course, we get to choose what to do with that energy. So as you think about your habits, I would invite you to think about how it is they truly support you in being open energetically for the things that are really meaningful to you, for the things that really matter to you. And if you find that your habits aren't really supporting that, then you might want to take a look at what would support you. What kind of habits could you put in place that would take away some of this decision fatigue, some of this heaviness, some of this franticness about just living life as a human being? What could you do? What could you implement? What could you establish that would help you, support you in creating space for what really matters, for the truly meaningful work, for the truly intentional becoming? That's what I have for you today. It's kind of deep, but it's important. It's important because we can just very easily just be on this hamster wheel of life. And when we look back, we find that it wasn't very fulfilling. It wasn't all that fun either, because nobody likes Groundhog Day, right? And when we're not living intentionally and we're not doing the things that are truly meaningful to us, it feels like we're just doing the laundry and the dishes and vacuuming and this and that, and it's just the same day over and over again, and that's exhausting and not fun. So think about this. Take some time, put all the other things away energetically and emotionally and mentally. You can pick it all back up later, but carve out some time for yourself this week and see what habits could you establish that would really support you in making meaningful decisions and then following through on those meaningful decisions. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic week. I totally love you. Bye for now.